new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. It's all about the Eastern Conference. That's where the action is today as the Atlanta Hawks get ready to battle. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons here for the first game of the NBA's 82-game regular season. In a season ago, Clark, they won the matchup, winning 3 and losing just 1.
And as you would expect, they came out on top in last season's series against this club, but no reason to expect anything different this time around.
Exactly. Guys, they're clearly the better team, but you can't take anybody for granted. They're all NBA players. They get their checks twice a month across the league, so you've got to come prepared and focused and ready to play.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Tobias Harris is out there with Marcus Morris, and it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping. But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
6 on the shot clock. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Offline with his 3.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
And that one's good.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit, and he'll play better.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was nice.
And Marcus Morris is nicknamed Mook. He has a twin brother, older by 7 minutes, named Markeith. Both brothers played at Kansas, drafted 13th and 14th in the same year, eventually played for the same pro team. That is joined at the hip.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Splitters checked in for Horford. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha. And it's Teague in for Dennis Schroeder. Here's Millsap. Again, Millsap missing. And looking at the Morris brothers' careers through last season, the one area they haven't been joined at the hip in is in performance. Markeith has shown steady improvement over his first 4 years. Marcus Morris has had a very up and down start to his career.
And you know, Kevin, Marcus has talent. He has versatility. He just hasn't found his role. It's time for him to step out of his brother's shadow and really establish who he is as a player.
The Hawks making a switch here. Scott's checked in. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Detroit. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Jackson dishes to Tolliver. Jackson kicks to Meeks. Pistons passing it around. And he gets the bucket. So it's the Hawks now. They trail by 3. Tipped away. Oh, and here we go. Jackson, nobody back. Trips to
Scatter. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
Mike Scott out there with Horford. Then there's Teague. Then it's Thabo Cephalosha. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Hawks.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And Mike Scott, a former second-round draft pick who has carved out a role here in the NBA the last 2 seasons, Clark. He was a major contributor off the bench.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tweener, you know, not big enough to maintain position down low on a consistent basis and not quick enough to really be a 3-man or small forward, but what he can do is get to the basket, rebound okay, and knock down the deep shot. Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Here's Caldwell Pope, defended by Scott. Three-pointer, good. Caldwell Pope's got 6 points.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time drop to use it.
Yeah, they just couldn't stay consistent away from home.
They couldn't. Only won 14 road games, and that number is not enough to get you to the playoffs.
The Hawks making a switch here. Millsap's checked in. Detroit also making some changes. Drummond comes in for Aaron Baines, and Morris subbed in for Anthony Tolliver.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you. And guys, for the Pistons' bad road record, a lot of it was due to their poor start on the road. Only managed to win one of their first 9 games, and that tends to take the confidence away from a young team.
Out left to the wing. Here's Caldwell Pope. Teague covering. Out to Harris. Cephalosha with the steal. He dishes it to Millsap. And he overshot that one, missing.
You know, the last thing I'll say about the Pistons on the road, typically you have to be close to 500 on the road in order to make the playoffs. The Pistons won 7 in a row at one point on the road, but by then they had fallen too far back.
Here's Schroeder, and it's out of Splitter is checked in for Horford. Ken Bazemore comes in for Cephalosha, and it's Korver in for Dennis Schroeder. Then for the Pistons, Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris, and it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. They double him with Drummond. Here's Millsap. Here's Korver. Rebound by the Pistons. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Jackson passes to Drummond. Johnson, a wide open look. Jackson, he hangs in at the lead up to 10 now for the Pistons.
And a nice soft touch on the boards.
And you know, when you have that gentle a touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by.
Yeah, but how about the fight there prior to that ball being available? That's what I like and what you need to really focus on when they have plays like that.
1 second left. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer. Just about to get going here.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Jackson. He has 8 points and the 1 steal.
Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
On the court for the Pistons, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris, and it's Harris in at the small forward.
Great way to start to have easy layup against some soft D.
Drummond working against Horford, and Drummond throws it down.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed. And if you go back, remember Jackson struggled with the Pistons last year as well. So the team went on a losing streak as soon as he got there.
And that one's good. Schroeder. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Marcus Morris. And it's sent back by Horford. Now here's Schroeder. He's tightly guarded. He feeds it to Humphries. Passes it to Schroeder. Picked by Humphries. Just 5 to shoot. That's a 2 from Cephalosha. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
Shot on the wing. That's good. Caldwell Pope's got 8 points. A minute 20 left in the third. Schroeder with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Here's Horford. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Pistons leading by 8. Pass to Harris. Over to the left wing. Caldwell Pope. No good on the 3. Hawks have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Kicks it to Humphries. The 18-footer is right on the mark.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Left side Jackson. There's a good screen. Dishes it to Caldwell Pope. Here's Harris. Can't hit. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Splitter's checked in for Horford. Mike Scott comes in for Chris Humphries. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Kyle Korver. And it's Teagan for Dennis Schroeder. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Reggie Jackson. T kicks to Cephalosha. From deep. He got. The Hawks trail by 4. Teague out there with Kent Bazemore. Then there's Paul Millsap. Then there's Scott. And it's Splitter in at the 5. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. And he uses the glass on the lane.
Listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. As this game approaches its finale, the outcome's still undecided. He told them, we're not far, fellas. It's within reach. Seize the moment and walk away with a win. Guys?
And thanks for that story, Doris. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Mike Scott. Outside Korver, the dish now to Millsap. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
That's what this team needs right now. Solid scoring chances.
Meeks with it. On the wing, Johnson. Pass to Meeks. The Pistons working the ball around now. Morris dishes to Drummond. And Meeks kicks to Drummond. 6 to shoot. Unloads from 9. No good off the front iron.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Atlanta making some changes. Al Horford, he's checked in for Splitter. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. Tobias Harris is checked in for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Detroit leading by 4. The drive by Jackson. Feeds it to Meeks. A three-pointer off the mark. Hawks have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. And there's the pass to Horford. Here's Bazemore. Baseline jumper. And it's Horford again missing. We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter. They trail by 7. 1:04 left to play here in the fourth. Atlanta with the ball. 7-point differential. Jackson comes over with the double. Horford with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Horford no luck.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here's Meeks. It's deflected, and they'll keep possession. Jackson passes to Morris. Back to Jackson. He kicks to Morris. Shot clock at 5. Here's Meeks. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. So it's the Hawks now. Korver gets a wide open look. Rebound Andre Drummond.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. The feed to Meeks. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. On the wing, Harris. Morris dishes to Harris. Meeks outside, and he gets it to go.
Well, guys,
NBA, it's going to be a great win, and you know it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here for sure.
And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. And in the win.